Welcome back to the Crochet Crowdsource, my friends over at yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today's the Pebble Texture Crochet Hat. It's been presented in two different ways on Yarnspirations. First of all, here the original was Caron 1 pound, and then it was another kind of version was done with Caron Kindness. They're both exactly the same pattern. What we're going to do today is choose your own adventure. I'm going to teach all three sizes in today's video. You can refer to the video description or the comments. I will put the time markers for all of the different rounds that we're going to be working with today. And as we progress, then I'm going to be diverting you off to where you need to go in order to finish this particular project. So let's take a look at the breakdown of this pattern. When we go to look at this pattern, you'll notice that it has a breakaway. So the sizes that you see 2 to 4, 8 to 10, and adult are in the different colors right here. So when there is no color breakdown that you see, that means that everything is the same. So all of this instruction from 1 to 6 is the same for each one of the sizes. And then right here 2 to 4 size only is number 7. So if you were doing this size, you're going to do number 7 and then number 6, and this is where 2 to 4 ends before progressing into page number 2. If you're then making the 8 to 10 years, from number 6 you're going to jump over to number 7 here, 8 to 10 years in adult only. This is 7 and then 8, and then 8 to 10 ends here, and then you're going to go to the other page. If you were doing the adult size, when you get to number 6 you're jumping over 2 to 4 because it's only 2 to 4 only, and you're going to do the adult size here from 7 and 8, and then you'll do the adult size 9 and 10. So let's flip on over to page number 2. So this here is page number 2. So if you finish 2 to 4 and 2 to 4 ends here, you're gonna immediately go to all sizes number 1. If you are finishing then 8 to 10 years, 8 to 10 ends here, you're gonna then go to all sizes, and then if you're doing the adult, again you'll finish this instruction and then jump over here. So when you start then the first round here of all sizes and then the second, it says repeat the last 2 rounds until the beginning measures either 5, 6.5, or 7 inches, and if you like the metric, there it is. And so you'll do that, and then we continue on. So what we have is that once we get here, they all are the pattern is completely the same. You just have to get the size that you want for height, and then we're just going to progress here to the end. So this is our adventure today, and we're gonna begin, and let's get our yarn started. It is a 5mm size H crochet hook. You can do your Caron 1 pound, you can do your Caron Kindness. I'm gonna be using Red Heart Hopscotch today. So let's begin the top of the crown. So we start at the top of the hat and work our way down. We're gonna do the beginning chain. We're gonna start with a slip knot, and we're going to chain 2. So 1 and 2. Now let's progress to round number 1. In round number 1 we're gonna do the second chain from the hook, which is the very first one, and we're going to place then 6 single crochets in the same stitch, and that'll cause a circle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now I didn't cover this straggler enough, so I will have to use a tapestry needle to hide that in, so I'll show you that in a moment. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you want to slip stitch to the 6th one back. Now as I said, I didn't cover this enough, and I'm not gonna lie that I didn't. So what I want to do is just grab a tapestry needle at this point and just slide it through so that it will catch. So on the back side here, just put it through some stitch work. Try not to interfere with the outside edging of the actual stitches itself, so that because you will have to access those. And the secret to fastening in and off is to go back and forth 3 times. So I'm only gonna show it to you once at this moment. If you have an open gap and you would like to close it, there's nothing stopping you from going across and closing that down too. So it will pull it nice and shut. Just make sure you just go back and forth a few times to capture that in. And if you want to tie a quick little knot just to secure that, you can. And then just make sure that stays on the underside of the hat. So there you go. So I have a knot, and I'm just gonna trim that down to the project and then move on to round number 2. Let's begin round number 2. The secret to this whole thing, this is actually the second time I've filmed it. I filmed it years ago and I kept making mistakes. You need to really count your rounds just if you're unclear or unsure. So you're gonna chain 3, and in the same one that you did the join, I need you to put in 2 more double crochet. So it's not like a typical circle the way it starts, and that's where I think people go wrong. So starting in the next stitch, you want to apply 3 double crochets into each one of the stitches going all the way back around. So if you had only 6 single crochet in the last round, which you did, then you will have 6 sets of 3 double crochets when you get all the way around. So please do this. This is round number 2, and I'll see you at the end of this round. So I'm coming all the way around. This is not a stitch here. This is leaning towards this area here, so make sure that you don't include that as being a stitch. So there's 6 sets of 3, and when you slip stitch, make sure it's nice and tight. So you're gonna come in, just give it a reef on it a little bit, and then pull it through and through, and therefore you won't end up with a humongous space. Let's move on to round number 3. Moving on to round number 3, we're now going to switch to single crochet. So just chain up 1, and in the same space as the last slip stitch, you are going to put in 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2, and then the next 2 stitches are going to be a single crochet each. So 1 by itself, 2 by itself. So here's the repeat for number 3. You're gonna put 2 into the first one, so 1 and 2, and then the next 2 are by themselves. So 1 by itself, 2 by itself. Please do this for round number 3. I'll see you at the end of the round. When you come around, if your stitch count is right, there's 2 into this one, and then there's 2 left. So those are 1 by itself and 2 by itself, and then you're going to slip stitch to the top of the first single crochet. So I know my counts are still correct. Let's move on to round number 4. Let's begin round number 4. The way that round number 4 is ending is unusual, so make sure that you follow me all the way to the end. We're going to begin by chaining 3, so 1, 2, 3, and you're gonna immediately go right to the next stitch itself. And in the next stitch, you are going to put 2 double crochet in that stitch. So 1 and 2. And now you're going to put 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches coming up. So 1 and 2 by itself, and then the repeat pattern starts again. So you're going to apply 2 single crochets into the, or 2 double crochets into the next one, sorry about that, and then 1 double crochet into the next 2. You're going to repeat this all the way around except for the very final section of this, and I'm gonna see you back there in just a moment. So keep please doing 2 double crochet in 1 double crochet in each of the next 2, and keep repeating that close to the very end, and I'll see you there, and we'll make sure that we finish right, because we're gonna end up with an odd number of stitches, which is what we need. When you came up to the end of number 4, we put 2 into this one, and then there's 1 by itself, 2 by itself, and you will notice that there's 2 stitches left over, so you can't repeat that one more time. So what they're telling us to do in the last 2 stitches is to apply 2 double crochets in each. So 1 into the first one, the second one into the first one, and then the very last stitch here is gonna have 2 in it as well. So 1 and 2, and you are going to join it to the top of the first chain 3, and you should have 33 double crochets now going all the way around. So what I would do for myself, and I am going to do it, is that I'm going to count and make sure I have 33 before moving on to round number 5 next. As we begin round number 5, we're still not big enough obviously, so we need to get ourselves bigger, but now we are going to start that beautiful texture work. We're going to chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to begin. So you're gonna skip the next double crochet and go to this one right here, and we're gonna do a front post double crochet. So just going around the post on the front side, pull through 2 and 2. Now you're gonna go to the one that you skipped, and you are going to do a front post double crochet again. So you see it's a crisscross. So this is an increasing round, so in between this space and this next double crochet you want to apply 1 double crochet. This is how it's going to increase, so you're increasing between the stitches and not a stitch itself. So now you're going to do this all over again. So skipping the next double crochet and going to the second over, do a front post double, and then come back and get the one that you just skipped with the front post double, and that will crisscross it. And then to do the expansion, you're gonna come in between this one and this new one and just go in the space and double crochet. Okay, so skipping the next one, double crochet in the front post, and then come back and get the one you skipped, and then go in between the space between this one and the next one that you're going to start with. This is round number 5. Please do this all the way around. I'll see you at the end of this round in just a moment. So as you come around on number 5, you're going to go in between the space of the last one and before the chain 3, and that's the end of a repeat. So this is the 49th stitch, and you're going to join it to the chain 3. So you'll notice that the chain 3, when we do this, we're building up. You will notice that the rounds are an odd number round. So this case it's 49. The next time it'll be 57, and etc. This chain 3 is more of a builder, so just keep that in mind as you're making your stitch work awesome. Let's begin to round number 6. For round number 6, we're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, that counts as the first stitch, and then just jumping over, you can see that this is the crisscross. This is the first one of the crisscross, and you're just gonna double crochet into that one and to every stitch going all the way around. So this is round number 6. You'll see this round repeating over and over and over in the future, and it's just a double crochet round starting with the chain 3. So let's move on to this one, and we're gonna be breaking away in just a moment to the different sizes that we have. I'm coming up around number 6, and we're gonna slip stitch, and let's just put this down. So let's go through what we're going to do now is that we're going to choose your own adventure, and you're gonna choose the sizes that you would like to go to next, and let's talk about that. So if you progress as of right now, the next part of this video we're going to go to round number 7, which will be the 2 to 4 age of only. So if you're working on the other sizes, you need to ignore this next round 7 and 8. And so round number 7 and 8 for 2 to 4 will end here, and then you'll go to the all sizes. If you were then progressing into the 8 to 10 years and to the adult, you want to skip this completely. So go to the time markers in the comments of this video or the video description. You'll find that you can fast forward yourself to here. And then for the adult size, if you're continuing along, you'll then continue to 9 and 10, but the 8 to 10 will finish here, and then you go to all sizes. So we're going to begin now, and we're gonna move on to our next section. So just do the section that applies to the size that you would like to do. So let's begin to do that next. For the 2 to 4 years of age, this is round number 7. So let's continue our journey. We're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and we're going to do a cross double crochet front post, and we're gonna do that a total of 3 times in a row. So skipping the next stitch, you're going to go to the second one over and do your front post double, and then do the one coming back. So you need to do 3 of these in a row. So that was 1. So you'll do the next 2 exactly. So you're noticing that you're not putting a double crochet in between. So let's do 3 of these in a row first. Okay, and then we do the final one. So this is the 3rd time, and then after the 3rd time you were then going to put in a double crochet in the space between, and that will be the increase. So let's just review one more time. So the next 3 sets will be on their own. So double crochet front post, so do it once, you're doing the crisscrossing, do it again, this is twice, and then finally a 3rd time is a charm. And then once you have that 3rd one in, and it's kind of easy to be able to count them because you can see how this one stands on its own. So once the 3rd one is in, just go and double crochet in the space, and then do the next 3 and then space, next 3 and space, and please do this all the way around. This is round number 7 for 2 to 4 years of age only. So I've now come all the way around. I have my last set. You can see 1, 2, 3. Don't forget you have to double crochet in that space in between the last stitch and this chain 3 here, and then just slip stitch to the chain 3, and that'll conclude off round number 7. And so you should have 57 stitches. You may want to count that just to make sure that you did it right. Let's move on to the 8th round for the sizes of 2 to 4 years of age. So this is the 8th round, which is the same as number 6. For the 8th round for this size 2 to 4, it's just chain 3, and then starting in the next stitches available to you. Don't get confused that you see how it's crisscrossing the first time. This is the first stitch right here, not this one. So make sure that you don't overlook that. So it's just 1 double crochet in each of the stitches going all the way around. I'll see you at the end of this round, and we'll continue our journey from that point. So I've just come up all the way around. I'm just going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3, and now this is the 2 to 4 years of age. I need you to fast forward in this video now to the all sizes, and that will carry on your journey for this particular size. In the meantime, we're going to continue and go backward now, and we're going to start again round number 7, starting with the 8 to 10 and adult size next. For those moving on now to round number 7, doing the 8 to 10 and adult size, we're going to begin our journey right now. So we've just now finished off round number 6 and now moving to round number 7. Round number 7 is kind of confusing in some way, but I'm gonna try to simplify it for you, and let's begin round number 7 next. In round number 7, the easiest way to do this is to follow my set of instructions and leave the last 8 open and then wait for me there. This is where the journey will change as far as changing the stitch counts. But let's just concentrate on the very beginning of this first. We're gonna chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, and you are going to skip the next stitch, and you're gonna go to the second one over, and you're gonna do your front post double crochet, and you're gonna come back and get the one that you just skipped. And you want to do that 2 times in a row. So you're gonna go to the next one, so you skip that one and you go to the second one over and crisscross. So front post double and a front post double. Now that 2 are done, you're gonna go into the space in between this one and the new one that's coming up. So that's your increase right here. So that's your repeat going all the way around until the last 8 stitches are unused. So skipping the first one, go to the second, and then come back and get the one you skipped, and you'll do that twice in a row. So skipping the next one and come into the one you skipped, and now those 2 are in a row, so then you're gonna go into the space in between. So please repeat this all the way around and meet me when the last 8 stitches are available to you, and we're gonna change our stitch counts at that moment. So I've been repeating that all the way around, so you see that there's a group of 2 and then there's a stitch coming down in between. So this one here all the way to the end, there's a total of 8 stitches left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So this is where our journey changes at the very end of this, and so the adult and the 8 to 10 years are doing both the same thing at the same time. So you'll do it for both of those sizes. So as we're changing our journey, it says we're gonna do a cross double crochet, and we're going to, so that means that we're gonna crisscross. So we skip the next one and we double crochet into the next, and then come into the one we just skipped. And then it says to do one double crochet in the space in between, and that's an increase, and it says to do that 4 times. So if that's 1, we're gonna crisscross again, right, and then we double crochet in the space in between, that's 2, and then we're gonna crisscross again, and then come into the space in between, so that's 3, and look at that, you got 2 stitches left, so you crisscross and then come into the space in between, and that was 4, and then that's it. So just slip stitch to the top of the chain 3, and that concludes off round number 7 for the 8 to 10 and adult size only. Let's move along to round number 8, which is for both of those sizes still. So let's begin. Let's begin round number 8 and chaining up 3, and this is for the adult and the 8 to 10 years. That counts as the very first one. So coming into the first stitch, you're going to apply 1 double crochet into each of the stitches going all the way around. Okay, so there's no increasing on these double crochet rounds that you see. So I want you to do that all the way around. This is round number 8, and this is for both of those sizes that I already discussed. And let's just meet you at the end of round number 8. So coming up to the end of round number 8, this is for the 8 to 10 and the adult size, slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. So if you're doing the 8 to 10 years of age size, I say bye-bye for now. You need to now fast forward to all sizes. Just go to the more information of this video or the comments, and you'll find the time marker and pick all sizes, and you'll pick up the journey. If you're doing the adult size, we have 2 more rounds to do. The next round we're gonna do an increase to get this to adult size, and then we'll just finish off the final round before progressing to all sizes next. Let's move on to adult size next. For the adult size, we have to get a little bit bigger, so the stitch count is gonna change just slightly. We're gonna chain 3, so 1, 2, 3. We're going to do the crisscrossing that we had been doing before, and this time we're gonna do it 5 times in a row. So skipping the next one and front post in the next. So I'm gonna count those together. So this is the first crisscross. So let's just say that's 1, and we do another one. This is 2. Another one is 3. Another one is 4. They're easy to count too if you lose count. And then finally one more for 5. So once you have 5 in a row, you're going to put an increase just like you had been before in between the space of the last one here and the new one here. So you're gonna go all the way around and you'll do 5 and then you'll put 1 into the space and then 5 and 1 into the space. But this is not an even number count, so I will meet you at the very final 2 stitches at the end of this round. This is round number 9. When you come up around on number 9 here, I did my repeats and there's 5, and then I ended up putting in the space, and you'll end up with 2 stitches that are not accounted for at the very end. Those ones here you just have to crisscross and that's it. Okay, so it's just one on its own like that. And then you're just going to slip stitch to the top of the first chain 3, and that'll conclude off round number 9. Let's move along to round number 10 for the adult size only. Round number 10 is like we had done with the double crochet before, so chain 3 and then moving on to the first one, and then do each one of the stitches as a double crochet all the way around. I'll see at the end of this round. This is number 10, and then we're moving on to all sizes in just a moment after that. So let's just double crochet each round, and I'll see at the end of this round. I'm coming up to the end of round number 10, and I'm just going to slip stitch in the top of the chain 3, and then we're going to proceed to all sizes next. So you're gonna see it's starting to bowl a little bit, and we're now really going to have it turn its shape in the next section. So let's do all sizes round number 1 next. So we're moving along in this video. We're moving to all sizes, so no matter what you finished with the toddler size, the kid size, or the adult, we're all gonna end up here. So we're going to begin round number 1 and then 2, and then we're gonna repeat the last 2 rounds until the project either measures 5, 6.5, or 7 inches. You can see that the kids and the adults are not too far off from each other. The difference is that the circumference is a bit different. So let's begin all sizes number 1. Let's begin all sizes number 1. We're going to chain 3 as your first one, and then just skipping the next one and do your crisscross. So there's no double crochets being added to any spaces in between them, so you're just crisscrossing each one all the way around. So skip the next one, front post double in the next, and then come back to the one you skipped. That's all you have to do, and this is round number 1 of all sizes. Please do this, and I'll see you at the end of this round. So now just come all the way around. I crisscrossed my last 2, slip stitch to the chain 3. So let's begin then all sizes round number 2. Round number 2 for all sizes, you're gonna chain 3, count as your first double, and then starting in your very next stitch, and you're just gonna do a double crochet in each going all the way around. So this is round number 2, and I'll meet you at the end of this round. So I'm coming up to the very final stitch then on round number 2 of all sizes, and you're just gonna slip stitch. So let's talk about the differences that we need to do for all the different sizes, because the edging is gonna be the next round in this tutorial, but we need to earn our way to get there first. So fold the hat and put it down like this, and let's just talk about it. So the first round was crisscross, and the second round was double crochet. So you have to repeat rounds number 1 and 2 over and over and over to get to the size that you would like to do. Now this is the adult size version, but what you have to do is that you have to get yourself to the size that you would like to do. So the 5" here would then be the toddler size. 6.5 inches here would be then the kid size, and then approximately 7 inches here would be the adult size. So what I need to do is that I need to earn myself and get myself to 7 inches just like you see down here before I can proceed. So I need to repeat now rounds 1 and 2 until I get to the size that I want. Now if this was the kid size version, chances are I would move right to the edging next, but because it's not, I have to earn my way there first. So let's meet you at the edging first round and just repeat rounds number 1 and 2 until you get to the size that it suggests, either 5 inches, 6.5, or 7 inches. So I've now just finished the second round of all sizes and I've gotten my 7 inches that I needed to get done. So it actually looks pretty cool at this point. So we're going to move on to the edging next. So you could have either 6.5 inches or 5 inches done, and we're moving on to edging first round. As we move on to the edging in the first round, you're going to notice that we're going to tighten it up a bit, and it says chain 1 single crochet in the same as the joining space. Okay, so it's a slip stitch, and then it says 1 single crochet into each of the next 12 if this is the toddler size, 13 if this is the kid size, and 15 if this is the adult size. And then the next stitch is going to be a single crochet together, and it says repeat from the asterisk 3 more times. So it's 1 single crochet from each, and you're gonna choose the number of the size that you're working on. Now when you get to the very end, it says 1 single crochet in each of the last 0, 2 and 0. So for the toddler size there will be no stitches left because the repeat will take you right to the end. But for the kid size here there will be 2 stitches left, so you're going to apply 1 single crochet in each of those 2. And then for the adult size, because of the repeating is going to end right where it should, there's going to be no stitches left, and then you're going to join it. So I'm going to leave this with you. So let's just begin. I am working on the adult size, so I will teach that size, but just substitute with this information if you're doing the toddler or the kid size. So for the edging, you're going to chain up 1, and in the same one that you have the join, you're going to single crochet in either the next 12, 13 or 15. So you're choosing the size. In my case it'll be a total of 15. So let's just do the adult size. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So if this is the toddler size, the next one is 2 together. So then it's not, so I'm going to work on it. So it's going to be 13 is the next stitch. Then if this is the kid size, then the next 2 are together, and then you'll keep doing that all the way around, and make sure that you do the single crochet in the last 2 stitches that will be left. But for the adult size, if that was number 13, so we have 14 and 15. So now that 15 are in, the next 2 are together. So just pull through and pull through and pull through 2. So keep repeating the number that you need. It's either 12, 13 or 15, and meet me at the end of this round, and then make sure that after you do the 12, 13 or 15 you do the 2 together just like you see. I'll see you at the end of this round. So I'm coming up all the way around, and I'm just going to slip stitch to the top. The last one was the 2 together, and that was for the adult size, but if it was the kid size, as I said, the last 2 will be a single crochet, and the toddler will also finish with the 2 together as being the end. So we have to watch ourselves now. We're going to turn our work and begin row number 2 of the edging. Row number 2 of the edging, working on the wrong side, so you should be looking at the inside of the hat. Then you are going to chain up 1, and you're only going to work with the back loops only. So if you're new to crochet, there's always 2 strands that equal a stitch. The first strand is the front loop, and the second strand is the back loop. So starting in the very first one, going in the back loop only, just single crochet in each of those going all the way around. So just in the back loops, 1 single crochet all the way around. This is round number 2, and I'll see you at the end of this round. I'm coming up to the end of round number 2, just like you see, the back loops only, and I'm going to join it to the regular stitch of the single crochet, and we're going to turn our work and begin round number 3. Round number 3 is going to start off like this. For round number 3, you're going to chain up 1 and working in the back loops only. So starting in the back loop at the first one, you're going to just single crochet yourself all the way around once again. So back loop only, and I will see at the end of the round for single crochet for round number 3. So I'm coming up all the way around on round number 3. One more round to go. We need to turn it one more time and chain up 1 and do 1 single crochet in the back loop once again, and this will conclude off your hat. So just 1 single crochet in the back loop. I'll see you at the end. We will just review on how to fasten off, and I will also using the remaining of my yarn, because I want to donate this hat, I want to make the pom pom to go with it, so I can put it into the donation box and gift it to somebody. And finally here we are at the very end, and we are just going to slip stitch to the first single crochet and then call this quits. So I want to fasten off this yarn, so leave a long enough tail to throw it through a tapestry needle. Like I showed you before, when we go to finish this off, we want to weave back and forth a total of 3 times at a minimum. So just throw it through a tapestry needle. So just using your tapestry needle, just go in the inside of the brim and just drag it through about an inch or so. Don't mess with the outside edging. So just pull it through and pull it taut, but don't pull it so it changes the shape, and then go back slightly different path, second time, and finally a third time is a charm. So back and forth 3 times, and then you're good to go. So we're going to move on to doing the pom-pom next, and this is what it looks like. I think it does look better with pom-pom. Just kind of fun, and it's really nice. I actually really like this hat. So you can turn it in ways if just in case it didn't line up, but we used hopscotch today, so I'm going to use pretty much the remaining of my yarn that I have, the Red Heart hopscotch, in order to finish. So here's my pom-pom maker, and I use pom-poms. It does say to use your hand, but I've never had success doing it very well. So this is what it looks like. One side has the dimples coming out, the other side has the indentations, so they will match it. So where the indentations are in this one, it'll just sit on top. It doesn't snap together when you're going to use it like this, but once you start wrapping it around with yarn, then it will hold itself together. So starting with your tail with your ball, okay, and you're just gonna leave it out a little bit. You're just going to just put it together and just kind of force it to sit together like that, and just get it started like this. And then once you have it started, you can just continually wind until you get it as thick as that you would like to go. So usually I like to fill in the entire middle section and just kind of evenly going around each one of these sections. So I'm not counting, I'm just making it look good. So I'm gonna do one side just like this, and I'll be back in just a moment when I have this done, and I will switch over to the other side, but don't cut your yarn in between. So once you think you have enough, you just want to work your way to the end of the one side. Do not cut your yarn, and just simply just flip whatever way you would like to do, and then just start and do the next section. So once you start, it'll kind of hold itself into position, and then you will do this side, and make sure this side looks pretty close to how this one is wrapped in the density and also the way that it's doing the indentation. So I'll leave that with you, and I'll be right back in just a moment. So once both sides are pretty much looking even, you're going to cut this yarn leading to the yarn ball, and you are going to clamp this thing shut. So you're just going to close it, and then just using those clamps, just open them up and put it together, and then close. You're now going to grab some yarn from the yarn ball itself. You can be a bit generous with it if you would like to. So keeping the same color, just put it to the side, and you're going to run your scissors through the side here. So see how there's an open space? You are going to then just start in the open space and just start snipping. So you might as well snip this one that's joining it to the other side too. And you're going to do this. Now because the clamps are shut, this should not pop off on you. Okay, so here's what it looks like so far, but you have not fastened it off. So using the strand that you cut, just equalize it to the same length and just pull it through the crease. So just going down between the two pieces and flip it over to the other side, and just give it a good tie. So I don't tie it into a knot the first time, but I do just go through like this, and I pull it as tight as I can without snapping that yarn. And then right where I am, if I lift it like this, you can tell that this is the top. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna flip it and come back the other side and tie. Pull it tight. Okay, and then I flip. And I usually do that 3 times. So now I'm ready to physically tie it. I'm just gonna do one more knot. You won't see the knot anyway. So holding those two strands so you know which ones they are, you're going to open up your clamping and you're going to just, you can do both at the same time. Just pull it through. Just make sure everything has been cut and release it. Now give your yarn, give it a good shake. Okay, and then look at it. So you're gonna see that there might be pieces that just don't look like proper, so what you're going to do is just carefully trim your yarn ball to make it, or sorry, your pom pom to make it look good. You can trim it once it's on the project too. So with your hat you want to just use a hook if you want to, and you want to go to the top side of the hat and you're gonna grab the one strand, noticing that I didn't go in the center. So grab the one strand, pull it underneath, and then come to the exact opposite side and grab the other strand and pull that through. And now you can just go and reach inside and pull it safely to the project. So on the inside of this hat you want to tie it into a bow tie, and once you have the sizing that you want, then you can just trim off the extra yarn left over. So pulling it tight, do a bow tie, and then you're done. So what this can be done is that if you're gifting this to somebody, they can just undo the bow tie, remove this pom pom, and then they can toss it into the wash. And this would be how you would do a pom pom hat using this particular idea. This is an amazing hat actually. It's really awesome and I can't wait to put it into the donation box to gift it to somebody. Have a great day and we hope to see you again real soon. Bye bye.